Hello YouTube. So we got a new project coming up for you. We've already been working on it a little bit, but I didn't make any videos, but I'll go over what we've done so far. But the new project is this third gen Camaro. It's Austin's. Y'all have seen him on the channel before. It's a pretty nice car. It's got a 305 in it with a cam. It ran like 15 in the quarter mile. I can't remember. Once we get the 5.3 in it, we're 5.3 swapping it. Once we get the 5.3 in it, I'll show you the videos of where we raced it with the 305 versus the LS. And yeah, it's a pretty nice car. Got a pretty nice interior in it. A couple cracks on the dash, nothing too bad. Everything else looks pretty good. Pretty nice car all in all. Be honest with you, I'm a Camaro Trans Am guy, as you can tell. And if it was my choice, I'd have a first gen F body or a third gen. And after that, probably a second gen. The only reason I did the fourth gen is because that's what I had at the time, and I've done so much to it now, I don't want to switch. Kind of like it now. I grow attached to them. But let's take a look at the motor and what we've done to it so far. All right, so here's the motor. It's a 5.3. We took it apart and took the oil pan off of it, and we it turns over good, and there wasn't no slop in the bearings or anything like that on the rods. So don't let the magic out, people say. So that's what we did. We just checked it over, made sure it didn't have any spun rods, and put the oil pan on it. And we used one of the, I'll go over a parts list here in a minute, but that's just an eBay LS1 top intake, or oil pan. But I like the ones on eBay, or the aftermarket ones, because they put the oil pickup back here, whereas an LS1 pan puts the oil pickup up here somewhere, which ain't good, because when you take off, all the oil goes to the back. I don't like where LS1 has the pickup at. But anyway, something that we did a little bit different. Oh, I want to add, I'm no expert at these LS motors. I've worked on a small block Chevy a lot, and I know those pretty well, but we've made some videos in the past that didn't have some of the correct information. So we did this one correct this time, from what I know. I had said before, I think some of the first videos we did on with LS stuff, putting heads on and stuff, I thought they were like a Gen 1, Gen 2 small block Chevy, and the head bolts went into water passages. They do not. None of them go into water passages on an LS. And even the head bolts are different sizes too. I think up to 2003 they use different size head bolts, whereas 2004 and up, I believe that's the year, don't quote me on that, 2004 up, they all use the same length head bolts. But something that we did different was, oh, we didn't change no cam bearings. Look pretty good. Put the cam in there. And the head gaskets, Austin almost put it together wrong. The head gaskets, there's two like holes in the head gasket on one end or the other. That goes to the back. Make sure you put that to the back. And something else that we've never done before is we've always just run the push rods that come in the kit, which is the stock length 7.4, and we've run with it. But this time we checked this one. What you do is you make sure you're on the base load with the cam, and what I do is I turn it over. You see the exhaust port? That's going to line up with your exhaust valve. The intake port's going to line up with your intake valve. But on this side, it's on LS, it's intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust. But now on this side, it's opposite. See? The exhaust port's there, intake port's there. So it's On this side, it's exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake, exhaust intake. But anyway, when you turn it over, the exhaust rocker will lift first and it'll come down. Then the intake rocker will come up and it'll go down. And then you just turn the motor over just a little and it'll put both of those on the base lobe of the cam. A lot of people, some people do exhaust starts to open, do the intake. And then they'll turn it over once they got the intake set. They'll turn it over, exhaust comes up and down. Intake comes up and down and starts to close. Then they'll do the exhaust. I wait for the intake to close and just turn the motor over a little. It puts both rockers on the base lobe. But once you got that, then you just tighten up the rocker and fill the push rod until you feel no up and down movement in the push rod. Once you have that, then you count how many turns it takes to get to your, 22 foot-pounds. You count how many turns it takes. You should be between a half a turn to 1.5 turns. Okay? And if it takes too many turns, you need a shorter push rod. If it don't take enough turns, you need a longer push rod. Yeah, that's the way it goes. But we did that on this one and made sure it was correct. And I even checked the install height on the springs this time when we did them. Usually we just throw the springs on there with the the cups and the retainer that they send with them. But I checked the install height. Their install height on the springs was 1.8. I forgot what it called for, but it was in spec. And we'll double check that number in a minute. But let's go over a parts list. And we'll see what the install height was supposed to be on the springs. But let's go over a parts list of what all we bought to put this in the 3rd gen Camaro.
Alright, so the first thing that we got was, we went with the sloppy stage 3 camshaft. It comes with the stage 3 Elgin camshaft, sloppy stage 3 cam. It come with the Michigan Motorsports .645 dual spring kit, and I did look that up. It was supposed to measure 1.8, which there's 2,000ths there. You can go up or down, so 1.78 to 1.82. But we checked that, and it was all within spec. And it come with these retainers, locks, seals, 7.4-inch length push rods, which they're stock thickness gaskets, and the head ain't been decked and the block ain't been decked, so I figured that would be within spec when we did our checked our push rod length like I discussed before. But yeah, this was $583, and then we went with the BTR multi-layer head gaskets for the 5.3 bore, 0.055 thickness. And then we went with the 2004 and newer. So I did say it right earlier. The 2003 and older, the head bolts are different sizes, but we went with the ARP Pro Series cylinder head bolt kit. And then we just got this eBay transmission adapter kit. His car already has a Turbo 350 in it, so that makes things easier. And then here's the motor mounts that we use. We elected to use these solid ones because he plans on turbo in it later, and I've been told the aluminum ones don't hold power very well, so we elected to go with these. So it wound up, we're about, including the cost of the motor, we're about $1,500 into the motor and the pieces for the swap. Now, I'm pretty sure that car came fuel injection. Whether it has a fuel injection pump still in it, and they're just using it's carbureted now, and they regulated it down for the carbureted 305 that's in it now, I don't know, but he may have to get a fuel pump, and we're definitely going to have to get some injectors, and he actually needs a bigger, I don't know what stall converter's in it, but needs at least a 3200 or better stall. But here's the parts that we're using. We're about $1,500 in. I don't know what he paid for the car because he did some trading to get it. So, but as far as the motor swap goes, we're going to have some mufflers too. But I'll keep you all updated on how much all this costs. But have a great day.